Okay, so let's continue our discussion on lists. I've already made these two lists ready for our purpose. There's list 1, which is our previous session's list of stocks and stock prices. And there's a list 2, which is a similar list with a few more stocks. Now, what we want to do, we want to concatenate two lists. Okay, now how do we do that? We just use the plus sign. So, big list is equal to list 1 plus list 2. Now if I were to print big list, okay, this is what I get. Okay, I have to save this file again, so I'll just save this as list 2 and we are good to go. So what it does is, what the plus sign does is, it takes list 1, which is from Reliance to M&M and 786 is the last element, and then after the last element, it adds Infi and TCS to it. Okay, it adds the list 2 to it. Similarly, if I did big list is equal to list 2 plus list 1, obviously no marks for guessing what's going to happen. It's going to take Infi and TCS first and then add Reliance to M&M after that. Okay, so this is how you concatenate two lists. Okay, now obviously you do this is called the plus operator, right? You're using the plus sign. Similarly, let's see the asterisk operator. Okay, or the multiplication sign, that is. Okay, how this works. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll do print list 2. Okay, one sec, I'll print list 2 into 3. Okay, now see what output I get. This is my second output. This is the one you want to focus on. What it does is Infi 700 TCS 1200, Infi 700 TCS 1200, Infi 700 TCS 1200. So it took list 2, which is this one, okay, and added its component 2 times. Two more times. So then in effect this entire list is repeated 3 times in this list. So in this output, that is print list 2 into 3. Okay, but this does not change the list. Okay, so if I do print list 2, okay, my list 2 remains this. Here what it's doing is it's printing list 2 into 3, which means only for this statement it's changing the list. If I want to actually change this, what I have to do is list 3 is equal to list 2 into 3. And now if I do print list 3, okay, I'm going to get a new list. Otherwise, the list does not change. Okay. Or if I want to change list 2 itself, I can do list 2 is equal to list 2 into 3, and then I can do print list 2. Again, I get the change value. Okay. Another way of doing is list 2 into equal to 3. If I do this, okay, and then if I do print list 2, I'll still get the same value. There you go. But now what it did was it took list 2 here, made it 3 times out here, and made it 3 times out here. So it totally became 9 times by the time this last statement got run. Okay, but this is all the ways in which you can use the multiple operator of the list. Okay, so just printing it here does not change the original list. In order to change the original list, you have to use the assignment operator, which is the equal to sign, in either this way or in this way. Only then your list 2 is going to get changed. Okay, now let's discuss how to add an item to a list. Okay, so here we added an entire list to a list using the plus operator. Now what if I just want to add an item to a list? Okay, I can do that using the append function. So how that works is append method. Okay, how that works is I do list1 dot append. Okay, so it'll take list1, which is Reliance, L&T, Maruti, M&M, and the prices. I'll append to that Ashok Ley, okay, which is Ashok Leyland. Okay, right? Now if I do print list1, it's gonna print that too. Okay, let me just what I'll do is I'll comment this out for the time being. So after this, it will straight away execute this. So after big list, it's gonna straight execute this, and all this is going to be ignored. Why? Because I've commented it out for the time being. So now list1 dot append Ashok Leyland. So here you can see this is list1. Okay, Reliance to M&M and 786, and is appended Ashok Leyland. But I also need the price of Ashok Leyland, right? So what I'll do list1 dot append. Okay, and I'll append the price also of Ashok Leyland out here. So that's it. So now if I do print list1 again, it's gonna give me Reliance, L&T, all those things, Ashok Leyland, and its price 67, which is out here, right? So what append does is it adds an item to the end of the list. Okay, so it adds a new last item to the list, whatever item you mentioned. Okay, so that was adding an item to a list. Similarly, you can delete a value from the list by using the pop method. Okay, so let's delete a value from the list. Okay, now how does this go about? How do we go about this? So if I just do print list1, it's gonna print out the list as it is, that is with Ashok Leyland in it. Okay, so there you go. So it's just printed out the list here in the last line. Okay, now what I do is list1 dot pop. Okay, if I do pop, what it does is it gets rid of the last value that I have entered in Ashok Leyland in the list, which is the price of Ashok Leyland. Okay, now if I do print list1, okay, there is some error. The pop element list, oh okay, I've entered the wrong name, so it's list1 dot pop. There we go. So this error will go away now that I run it. There you go. Here I'm getting the price of Ashok Leyland. After doing pop, I'm not getting the price of Ashok Leyland. If I do pop again, if I do list1 dot pop again, okay, so here I'm taking list1, removing the price of Ashok Leyland. I do list1 and I do pop again, then it's going to now remove Ashok Leyland from it as well. See this, right? I'm back to the original list. So every time you pop something, okay, it's gonna delete the value from the list. Okay, now and so on. Now what if I want to delete a specific value from a list? Okay, so essentially what this does is delete the last value from the list. Okay, now I want to delete a specific value from a list. Okay, so list1 has Reliance, L&T, Maruti, M&M. So I want to remove Maruti. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what is the index number of Maruti. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maruti is the fifth element of the list. So the index number is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I want to remove the index number, index 4 of the list, which is Maruti, right? So how do I do that? Is I do list1 dot pop, okay, and what I'm going to do is 4. 4 is the index that I want to pop, right? So now when I print list1, okay, I'm going to get this entire list with Maruti, without Maruti. But now look, my list is messed up. Why? Because I'm getting two prices. I want to remove the price of Maruti, which is 5,000 as well, right? So I need to pop it once again. What is the index? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Incidentally, this price is also the fifth index now that Maruti is gone. So again, I will just repeat this list1 dot pop 4. Okay, and it's gonna remove that price, and by now the list has only got Reliance, L&T and M&M inside. Okay, so this is how you delete a specific value. In order to delete a specific value from a list, okay, I'm just writing the instructions here. Enter its index in the parenthesis of the pop method. There you go. So this is essentially what we did so far, right? Now let's move on to reversing a list. Okay, let's say that I want to reverse a list. How do I do that? It's very simple. What I do is list1 dot reverse, okay, and two blank brackets, and then I do print list1. Okay, so now when I print list1, it's showing 786, M&M 950, L&T 925, Reliance. The entire list is reversed. Okay, now I want to sort a list alphabetically or by ascending numbers. Okay, now let's do sort a list, sorting a list. Okay, so I need so sorting a list, you have to use the sort method. So now list1 has numbers and strings in it, right? List1 has got the stock names and stock prices in it. So if I try to sort this using the sort method, if I do list1 dot sort and if I do print list1, most probably it's gonna show me an error. Why? Because you cannot sort strings and integers together. So I need a different list out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this list. Okay, I'm going to take another list. One moment. Let me select this list. Okay, I'll make a new list from here. Okay, list 3 is equal to, I'm going to add a new list out here. Right, and I'm gonna add a few parentheses, quotes, where the list, there you go. So this is a new list, list 3. Okay, it has 4 stocks in it, and I want to arrange the stocks in alphabetical order, right? Arrange list 3 in alphabetical order. Now in order to do this, all I have to do is list 3 dot sort, okay, brackets, and then I have to do print list 3. Okay, well, oh, it's still showing error for this, so I need to comment this out first. There we go. Now I'll print list 3. So now we've got alphabetical order: M, Mahindra, then Maruti, and then TVS, and then Tata Motors, right? So this is that same list, but now it's arranged in alphabetical order, right? Now I'll make a list for, okay, only of some arbitrary numbers: 1, 2, 3, 65, 789, 786, then 43, then 564, then 70, 719, 729, whatever. Okay, now what I'm doing is, now I want to sort this list, arrange this list in ascending order. Right? So if I arrange this list in ascending order, I'm gonna do list 4 dot sort, right? and print list 4. There we go. So there you go. You can see these same numbers which I have entered here. Okay, but now they are arranged in ascending order. So sorting a list is so simple and so quick when you use Python. Okay. So okay. Now I want to just point out a logical thing. So now if I were to do this, okay, if these values keep changing and I can remove any value from here, this list can be deformed. Okay, so then if I remove Maruti, I'll get two prices out here. So if I were to get rid of Maruti, I'll get 950 comma 5000. So dealing with these lists is risky when you're dealing with stocks, prices and stock names together. For that, maybe you can use tuples. Why? Because tuples cannot be changed. Or if you want the prices to be changed and the stock name obviously doesn't change, you can use dictionaries. Now we will learn tuples and dictionaries in the next few sessions. Okay. Now let us do lists of lists. Okay, lists of lists. Now how does this work? Okay, for that let's make three lists. A is a list with Reliance, okay, and its price. Okay, B is a list of Tata Motors and its price. C is which stock should I take? Larsen and Toubro. Don't really like this stock, but nevertheless, and its price. Okay. So these are three lists in front of you, A, B, and C. Okay, I'm going to make a list 4. Okay, which is going to be nothing but a list having list A, list B, and list C as its components. Okay, so now if I print list 4, okay, this is what it's going to look like. So list 4, which is this one, okay, has three lists inside it. That is Reliance, Tata Motors, L&T. Okay. So now what I want you guys to do is, I'm going to try and index this list. Okay. So how do I index this list? What I'm going to do, print list 4 bracket 0. Now if I type this, what I want you guys to do is I want you to pause the video and think for yourself that what the output will be. See, list 4 is right here loaded in front of you here in this right hand side section. Okay. Now if I do list 4 bracket 0, what is gonna print out? Just think about it. Pause the video, unpause it when you have the answer, and I'm running the program now out here. So when I do list 4 bracket 0, I'm getting the first list as the output, isn't it? Similarly, if I do list 4 bracket 1, it's gonna give me the second list as the output, which is Tata Motors. And if I do list 4 brackets 2, it's gonna give me the third list as the output. Now, let's say that I've put list 4 bracket 2 and I add another bracket 0 out here. Okay, so it's gonna be list 4 ka 2 and uska 0. Okay, so now just think for a minute what the output is gonna be like. Pause the video and after that unpause it, because now I'm gonna run the output. So I'm running the output. Okay, and obviously if I do list 4 2 ka 0, it's going to give me list 4 2, which is this entire list, ka 0, which is the first element of this list, that is L&T. It's going to print out LT. That's what it did. So if I do list 4 0 ka 1, okay, what is it going to print out? it's gonna print out list 4 ka 0, which is Reliance and 931, but not the entire list, only uska 1. So 0 is Reliance, 931 is 1, so it's gonna print out 931. So this is how you index a list of lists. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood how I can do that. It basically requires two rectangular brackets. Okay, and that's how I can make a list, index a list of lists. Okay, so now there's another way in which I can make a list of list. Okay, so list phi is equal to, and I can straight away add the first component, list 1, which is 12, 13, 14. The second list is gonna have 15, 16, 17, comma, the third list is gonna have 31, 32, 33, okay, 33, and so on. So I can directly create a list of lists also. So if I print list 5, okay, it's gonna be a normal list of lists right here. Now let's say I want to print out 16. Okay, what do I have to put out here in the rectangular brackets? I want to print 16. Okay, think about it and I'll give you the solution. So pause the video and think about it. Okay, it's gonna be what do I have to put in these two rectangular brackets if I want to print out 16? Okay, so I hope you have thought of the solution, because I'm going to give the solution here. So see, this list has 3 lists in it. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So I want 16, which is in list, it's in the second list having index 1. So I'm going to do 1 out here. Now list 1 has 3 components in it. Okay, so that is 0, 1, and 2. So I'm going to do 1, which is 16 has index 1. So list 1 and uska 1. That's how we do. List 1 and uska 1. If I run this, oh sorry, I've not put the list name here, so I'll put list 5. There we go. Okay, and it's going to give me the output 16. Okay, so this is how you do it. Okay, so now this was lists of list and indexing a list. Okay, now how do you change a component of a list? Okay, so changing a component. So now what we are going to do is we are going to change a component of a list. Okay, now for this purpose, okay, let us consider list 4. Okay, list 4 is this. I'm going to just copy it and redefine it for you. Let me make a new list actually, so that there's no tension. Okay, so list 6 is equal to this. It's practically list 4, but I've just defined it here for simplicity. Now I want to change this Larsen and Toubro because I don't really like it. And I want to add a new stock called Maruti to it. Okay, how do I do? Okay, change LNT to Maruti. Okay, so again, what I have to do is list 6. Okay, and what is LNT ka code? How do I get LNT here? Is it's list 0, list 1, and list 2. Okay, so so I'll go in list 2. Okay, and list 2 ka there are 2 components, 0 and 1. LNT is 0. So I'll do list 2 ka 0. Okay, which is equal to list 6 ka second component ka 0. Okay, is LNT. I want to change it to Maruti. There you go. So if I just change this, okay, if I run this and if I do print list 6, List 6 is gonna be Reliance 931, Tata Motors 75, Maruti 900. Now the obvious thing is that I want to change the price of Maruti also, na? Change the price of Maruti. So how do I do that? I go to list 6 again. Okay, again I try to find out where I want to change this 900. So it's again list 012. Okay, so list 2. Okay, one moment. There you go, list 2. Okay, uska two components are there, 0 and 1. So I'm going to change 1. Okay, and I'm going to assign the new value out here, which is Maruti ka price. So now if I do print list 6, okay, it's gonna give me a proper list with Reliance, Tata Motors, Maruti, but everything having changed. So list, I just have to find the correct index, okay, and using the equal to sign, which is called as the assignment operator, I have to change. So if I would let's say I had a plain vanilla list like list 3. Okay, now this is a very simple exercise just for fun. Let's say I have got this list 8, okay, which is this one. Okay, and now in this I want to change Mahindra and Mahindra Limited to Bajaj Auto Limited. Okay, so how do I do that? So first I have to go to list 8 and I have to find out which value I want to change. I want to change the third value, which is Mahindra and Mahindra Limited. So this third value ka index is what? 0, 1 and 2. So list 8, 2. Okay, this is Mahindra and Mahindra Limited. Now I want to change this to Bajaj Auto Limited. So I'll just add that here. Okay, now if I do print list 8, okay, it's gonna give me the modified list, that is Tata Motors, Maruti, Bajaj Auto and TVS Motors. So there you go. What we just did was we tried to change a component of a list and we did that. Okay, now lists can be changed. Okay, so now we are going to move on to tuples, and tuples cannot be changed. Okay, so we'll see in the next video where we'll discuss the next data type, which is tuples.